Welcome to StarScene Central. Exciting updates about NCIS coming up. Don't miss out. Like and subscribe for more celebrity news. After years of anticipation, NCIS, Tony and Ziva has finally delivered on a fan theory that's been brewing for nearly a decade, and it's one that gives long-awaited clarity to the complex and emotional relationship between Tony DiNozzo and Ziva David. The new spin-off series picks up right where Ziva's story left off on NCIS, showing her reunion with Tony and their daughter, Tali, after years apart. Fans had long wondered how the couple truly felt about each other after Ziva faked her death and left Tony to raise their daughter alone. Episode 9 of Tony and Ziva finally addresses that painful chapter, confirming what many viewers suspected. Tony's trust in Ziva was deeply shaken, and the emotional fallout from her deception lingered long after their reunion. The spin-off initially gave fans the warm reunion they'd been hoping for, Tony and Ziva smiling, laughing, and settling into family life in Paris with Tali. But something always felt unresolved. During Tony's final episode on NCIS, he had been left devastated by the news of Ziva's supposed death and blindsided by the revelation that they shared a child. His departure from the agency was filled with emotional turmoil, balancing grief, betrayal, and newfound fatherhood. Yet, when Ziva returned alive years later, the series skipped over Tony's true emotional reaction. Did he forgive her easily? Or was there still resentment simmering beneath the surface? That question haunted fans, and the spin-off, until episode 9 finally laid it bare. In a flashback scene that takes place on what was supposed to be their wedding day, tensions between Tony and Ziva erupt after their daughter, Tali, momentarily goes missing. Amid the chaos, Tony confesses the truth he's been holding back. He didn't tell Ziva about Tali wandering off because he no longer trusts her. The admission is raw and devastating, a breaking point that exposes just how deeply her earlier deception wounded him. Years of being a single father, grieving the woman he loved, and suddenly having her back from the dead left emotional scars that even love couldn't immediately heal. It's a moment that reframes their entire dynamic. Tony wasn't simply overjoyed by Ziva's return. He was struggling to reconcile the past with the present. Placing this revelation near the end of the season was a brilliant creative decision. It gives Tony's arc a full emotional payoff, showing real growth and vulnerability from a character who's often hidden behind charm and humor. For much of the series, Tony tried to keep the peace and focus on Ziva's healing from her own trauma, suppressing his own pain in the process. But as Ziva herself points out during their confrontation, he can't keep internalizing everything for the sake of others. By finally voicing his hurt, Tony evolves beyond his old patterns, proving that love without honesty isn't sustainable, even for fan-favorite couples like Tiva. The execution of this scene is nothing short of powerful. The show builds up the emotional intensity by juxtaposing the joy of their upcoming wedding with the chaos of losing sight of their daughter. Dressed in wedding attire, surrounded by anticipation, the emotional explosion feels even more tragic. When Tony softly admits that he doesn't trust Ziva, it's not said in anger. It's a confession born out of exhaustion and heartbreak. The moment lands with gut-punching impact, thanks in large part to Michael Weatherly's deeply emotional performance. His delivery makes it clear that these feelings have been simmering for years, and now, finally, they've boiled over. This pivotal episode not only adds emotional depth to Tony's character, but also redeems the long-running storyline that left fans with lingering questions. It validates the pain, confusion, and complexity of a man who loved fiercely, but was left broken by betrayal. For longtime fans, Episode 9 serves as both closure and catharsis, proof that the NCIS universe hasn't forgotten the emotional realism that made Tony and Ziva's love story so unforgettable. With this powerful confession, NCIS, Tony and Ziva brings a 9-year-old theory full circle, finally confirming that forgiveness takes time, and even the strongest love must survive the test of truth. Thanks for watching.